Welcome to a Milk Market Tidbit for the November class and component values that USDA released yesterday afternoon. Now, normally these class and component numbers aren't very interesting, but this one has a little bit of a twist to it. So first off, November was a 5-week month, and those happen a few times a year. Now, what made this a little bit different is the trade and I were both at 1987, and this Class 3 came in at 1995, and so I scratched my head for quite a while to figure out what the heck was going on. Also, Class 4 came in a little bit higher than it was projected. So let's do Class 4 first, and that was all due to butter. Butter was up to 268 more or less on the National Dairy Sales Report. Now, why was it that Class 3 was up? Well, let's look at the volume of blocks. It's normally 12 million, okay? So we had 2 weeks of 12 million. The last one came in at 6.7 million. So what that means is this $1.99 was weighted twice as much as that $1.79. And so that significantly inflated the actual number. When you actually do the simple math of these numbers, you come up with the 1987, but because of the volume differences, we're about 8 cents higher. One of the things I always like to point out here is what if we had the new proposed federal milk marketing data? So Class 3 was 1995 under the proposed. It's going to be 1938 or 57-cent haircut. Class 4 came in at 2112 under the new proposal is 2068, and that's a 44-cent haircut. On most farms, it won't be quite this bad because the higher of number gives you a higher Class 1, but it's all going to be dependent upon which federal order you're in. Florida, Georgia area is going to just really love this because they're very, very high Class 1. But Minnesota, Wisconsin, that's only a few percent Class 1 is going to bear the brunt of this change. We always have the Class 1 numbers a month ahead, so it came down 64 cents for November off of the high of 23.17, and next month is going to be down even a bit more. Class 3 prices have just been collapsing. We were at 23.34 just 2 months ago. We're at 19.95, and these are the closes as of yesterday because it's down again today. We're about $19 and change for the next 4 months, but I think we're going to settle in at that 19 plus or minus 20 probably for the next short while. So how much noise was there in there? Well, let's first look at this contract 6 months out. It turns out 6 months ago, we were only 25 cents lower. Since then, we went way up to 23.50 and then way back down. And so if you'd sold everything, 6 months out, you'd been off by about 30 cents, but you would have been feeling really bad back in here. If we look at the carry in the market again, very little. If we'd been as high as $4 difference 6 months out, and this was just very little. And if we look at this emotion index, we're almost back to the box we like to be in of things just behaving a bit normally. But this next month could be just a little bit higher again. Fat prices really fell in October, and then they fell in a couple more cents here in November to 306. Looks like they're going to come down as fat normally does at the end of the year and then start trickling up first quarter of next year. Fat is being driven largely by the percentage components in milk, and this is just off the chart high. We were going up at a pretty good clip, but then we seem to have actually started a higher clip yet. With the agricultural prices came the DMC. There was no DMC payment this month at $15.17. The best indemnity is about $9.50. Here's our 426 fat, 421 a year ago, 414 2 years ago. So significant increase in fat percentages. Protein came down a whopping $1 this month to 232. We're off of that 392. We had that spike up in cheese prices. And this is settling in right around $2 here for first quarter. The hero of the day is other solids. We've just been going up, 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 up. We're up 3 cents again this month, and that's the high that we've had. And this is just really helping Class 3 prices overall. Class 4 actually came up just a little bit, came down quite a bit in October and then up a little bit, and they're going to fall back into this 21, I would say, plus or minus a little bit for the first part of 2025. So here's where we sat actually as of just a couple minutes ago. This is the month, the class 3, class 4. So first off, we can see that class 4 is higher than class 3 all the way through here by as much as $2. So there's going to be significant depooling, if you can, of class 4. There's this interesting fall off here starting kind of in May from where we've got a peak. I think all of this is the new make allowance and that 50 cents that's coming in the new federal orders. When we get the class and component numbers, we can kind of look at how this year compared to last. And so I think we're going to end up very close to that $1.75 we talked about all year. Now, we've been higher than that at times, lower than that at times, but I think it's going to come in pretty close to that. And we can also start taking a look at 2025. And right now, the futures are telling us it should be very similar to 2024. But with his new cheese plants coming on, the new make allowance and everything else, 2025 could have a little bit more downward pressure on it. So on Tuesday, we had the global dairy trade that was up a little bit. We had the class and components. I will do a milk market tidbit here in a few minutes. And we did get the dairy exports, and we're also going to get the dairy slaughter and spot milk prices. So you can look for another milk market tidbit later this afternoon.